It's LeGarrette Blunt here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, MicroMike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch MicroMike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, aka Megatron. Big shout out to MicroMike and YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. MicroMike, and today we're going to do 53-man roster projections for our beloved Detroit Lions and what I believe the Detroit's going to look like when our season begins week 1 via roster. Before we get into the video, smash, Hulk bust, destroy that like button. It helps bring the video out via YouTube algorithm, and that would be greatly appreciated. The roster is so important when we talk about our Detroit Lions. We've seen what happens in injuries. We've seen what it can do to a team. We've seen what it can do to a season. And it's a dumpster fire if you do not have a quality 53-man roster. And the Detroit Lions is no exception. We've seen what happens via injury. And that's why when we talk 53, it's important via depth. And let's go ahead and talk about it. But before I talk about that, subscribe to my channel. 50% of my audience, yes, 50% of my audience are not subscribed. Subscribe and help me get to 5K. I am almost there. Let's get to 5K. You and myself, both, we will do it. Let's begin. Special teams, this one to me is the easiest. Matt Prater is going to be the kicker. That is not a big issue. We know that. If, ands, or buts about it. Let's go ahead and move on to the punter. We're going to have a new punter in 2020. It's not going to be Mr. Sam himself. It's not going to be Mr. Martin. It is going to be Jack Fox will be our new punter for our Detroit Lions. He is going to be manning that position. And yes, the man, the myth, the legend, Don Muhlbach will be the snapper of those balls to them. He will be guy in the middle. We know about it. Let's go ahead and jump to the Detroit Lions defense. Let's start with the defensive line. Let's talk about Trey Flowers is definitely going to be on the roster. He will be manning the edge, no doubt about it. We're going to talk about Danny Shelton, the interior. We picked him up this last offseason. He is going to man the middle, and we're going to need that big body to flow. We have Nick Williams we picked up from the Chicago Bears. He will also be in the interior, helping us out. We need him to step up. That is no doubt about it. We also have Deshaun Hand, the rookie from a couple years ago who did a fantastic job, but last year he was injured. He is a real difference maker, though. So far, no injuries in camp. He is definitely going to be on the roster for our Detroit Lions. Julian Okwara, no doubt about it, he's going to be on the edge. He's going to be going after quarterbacks the best that he can. Hopefully it's a lot. Romeo Okwara, no doubt about it, he's going to be there on the edge. He's going to be going after the quarterback. We need that man in there. He is going to bring that to us. Austin Bryant, he's definitely making the team. Hopefully he stays healthy. Right now we've seen him injured. That is not good. We need this man to stay healthy. And obviously Penasini, we need this man in the middle. He is a young fella, but we had injury already to a defensive tackle placed on IR. We need him to be on there for us, for our Detroit Lions. That is the interior from my perspective. The linebackers, Jamie Collins, we picked him up in the offseason. He is a big part of what we're going to do with our linebacker position. He is definitely going to be here. Jared Davis, this is a make or break year in my opinion for Jared Davis, but he is definitely making the 53-man roster. The question is, where is he going to be? Is he going to be in the middle? Is he going to be on the outside? We've seen outside already. Jelani Tavai, second-round pick. He is definitely making the roster. He's probably going to be manning the middle, just what we're talking about with Jared Davis. We've seen him in camp manning the middle. Hopefully that can continue. Unfortunately, Christian Jones, I think, does make the roster for a linebacker position. He had a bad year last year. Hopefully he can turn it around. But yes, he is definitely making the roster as of now. Julian Okwara, Romeo's brother. We got this guy. He's definitely making the roster, no doubt about it. This man needs to help us out with the linebacking core. He needs to get after the quarterback. We need that young body in there. Reggie Ragland's making the roster. We need help at that linebacker position. Can he help out? It was definitely a hurt for us last year. We need help on the edge. Also, we're going to talk about Miles Killebrew, I think he does make the roster. This was a question mark. He is a bubble guy to watch. Interesting to see if he does make the roster, but this is my projection that he does. And Jalen Reeves-Maybin, he has been doing well in camp. He can cover. There's nothing wrong with that. I think he does make the roster in my opinion. Let's go to the defensive backs. Obviously, Jeff Okudah from our Detroit Lions. We drafted this guy the 3rd pick. He's definitely making the roster. Desmond Trufant, we picked him up in the offseason via Atlanta Falcons to help replace Darius Lee. He's definitely making the roster. Justin Coleman, picked him up last year in free agency. He's going to be our corner. Nickel corner, he's definitely making the roster. It's not even a question about it. Amani Oruwariye, drafted him last year in the 5th round. He did well at the end of camp. He is definitely, no doubt about it, making the roster. We're talking about now Daron Harmon and Tracy Walker will be the safeties. They're starting safeties. They're going to be back there. No doubt about it. We need them to make plays. Jayron Kearse, that was a question mark because of his suspension, but it definitely looks like he's making the roster, but he is not going to be able to play for the first couple of games. CJ Moore is making the roster as well. We need this man to help us out. We need depth, and there's a little bit of changes this year, but I think he does make the roster. Let's go to the offensive line. Our starters are going to be Taylor Decker, left side, Joe Dulce, left guard, center, Frank Ragnow, right guard, Jonah Jackson, right tackle, Halabudi Vati Vaitai is going to man that side. Our swing tackle, in my opinion, is going to be Crosby. He'll be able to do left. He'll be able to do right. I think that Logan Stenberg is definitely going to be a backup. That's not even a question. We drafted this guy for a reason. I think that Bo Benshaw is going to make up as well, and Kenny Wiggins will be in there for our beloved Detroit Lions. I think Ibushi does not make it. Tight ends, TJ Hawkinson, last year 8th overall pick. Jesse James, last year free agency. The question is, how many tight ends are we going to go? I say we're going to go officially 4. Why do I say 4? Because I will explain it in my upcoming one talking about the running backs. But then we have Isaac Nada. He's going to be playing a fullback as well as tight end. I think he'll be an individual utilized universally. And I do believe Hunter Bryant makes the roster. He's a very talented young man. I think he does make the roster kind of for 3, as well as Isaac Nada will be that fullback position. Wide receivers, Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones Jr., Danny Amendola, Deep Ball Hall, and of course Cephas. I think all those guys make the roster. That seems to be the case here in my opinion. I think we only go 5 wide receivers. Yes, 5 wide receivers for our Detroit Lions. And that's kind of what I'm predicting right now. When it comes to running back position, we're going to do Kerryon Johnson, DeAndre Swift, and yes, Bo Scarborough is going to make the roster in my opinion. Who I believe also will make the roster is Jason Huntley. I think he's going to be an individual that makes it for the 4th roster spot. And that's it. I think Ty Johnson will eventually just go simply to the practice squad. And we caught Jonathan Williams. He will no longer be on the roster. And I think when it comes to fullback, Isaac Nada will kind of take that role as well. The quarterback position, obviously, Matthew Stafford, definitely. We already know what he's talking about when it comes to Matthew Stafford. I think Chase Daniel will be the backup. And I do believe David Blau will be the 3rd quarterback. Yes, we will do 3 quarterbacks for our Detroit Lions, and I think that's what it's going to look like. With that said, folks, tell me what you think I did right, what you think I did wrong. Let me know. Comment. And again, smash that Hulk bust, that like button. It would be duly appreciated in my opinion.